Cocktails and Comets, activate. Shape of Batman, Court of Owls. Are we also not going to talk about Dick Grayson getting bitch slapped?
Oh, well, that you just segued us into the next question.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Question 3.
Don't call segue in the business, guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about what we actually enjoyed from this trade 1 through 7, this story, this Court of Owls thing. And Nick, boom, why don't you hit us up with that?
One, he just honestly, like, Nightwing's just kind of like bitching at him like a nagging wife or significant other. 2020. But and he's just like, you can see his face, and he just like puts his head down a little bit and just bitch slaps him.
Which is, it's kind of a throwback to that Batman slapping Robin.
No, this is
hilarious, man.
But yeah, this was very reminiscent. I was like, oh shit, he got it again.
No, this one has a purpose though.
Yes.
No, that's what disappointed me. It wasn't a bitch slap. Yeah. That and Endgame were the two most disappointing moments in that show, in the comic book. Will knows what I'm talking about in Endgame.
But yeah.
I love how tactical the slap was, that he only knocked out the tooth that had the fucking
the one.
It was like, what?
No
Not
collateral
even knocking
damage.
out the whole tooth. He just knocks like the crown out. It's like,
that's how good Batman is.
fucking surgical
Science. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a few little flops like that. Like, I don't necessarily buy that the guy who has like the full, bat computer in his, whatever the fuck, all times hasn't done like a full scan of every single building that he's owned, and it was like, what's that there? What's that little space that's not on my schematic?
You could argue it speaks to the arrogance.
You could, or it's just a plot hole.
I'm arguing the arrogance.
All right. I'm arguing it's convenient.
It's also make-believe. I'm going to go.
Let's keep it going round robin. Justin, anything you want to point out?
I mean, it's not so much a favorite moment, but one thing that I will touch upon is that I love Alfred in like his limited appearances through it. It was just, that was your quintessential Alfred. And I think that they nailed it on the head, and it was relieving every time he kind of popped his face in. For me, like, Batman isn't Batman without his role model, who really is Alfred. Alfred's the guy that kind of held his hand and got him to where he needs to be. And, he's always that confidant that, like, when everything's going awry, hey, I can lean on him. So, I mean, I think that for me, it was relieving to see Alfred really starting to show his face and build a presence in Snyder's run. That was relieving for me. So I like that.
Yeah. I think I enjoyed a lot of like those comedic moments, like when he's fighting the gang and they all have the metal mask on and he puts them on the train with the magnet. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Or the whole scenes with what's her name face, Harper Row or whatever. Like when he gets resuscitated in the van and he's like, stay away from me. And he's like half dead and just like walks out on her.
Yeah, like but she just like attached his nipples to a battery. Like, I don't know exactly how that's supposed to work. But
and then she like disappears for the rest of the run.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, she becomes Bluebird or something like that, and then gets written out of continuity. She was only there for the nipple play, right?
But she was the catalyst for the nipple and for the owl eating the bat, which are two really cool scenes.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to touch on anything else they enjoyed? Because, I mean, the whole series in itself is enjoyable. I think, like, issue 7, just the last page, that splash page of all the tie-ins, like, let's go fuck up Gotham.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of irritated me a little bit. He had so much trouble with one, and then the Bat Family takes them all down in, like, one issue. Like, guys.
Well,
it's the power of family, man.
Yeah. That's the other strength in numbers. That's
They took them down one-on-one. It was all one-on-one. Each tie-in was one-on-one.
Nick,
you act like they formed Voltron.
It's the Batman equivalent.
Fucking Megazord over here.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's the Batman equivalency of Game of Thrones, where the Night King is fucking, you know, the mightiest villain of everybody, and all of a sudden they kill him in one episode, and you're like, wait.
Yeah. What? This is the big bad? Okay.
Also, I'm going to hit the rewind button here. Sorry. I'm not sure if we told the audience why it was important that Batman bitch slapped.
No, we did not.
But,
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Are we operating under the assumption that other people actually have read the book? Yeah. So yeah, it knocks the crowd out, showing that the same metal alloy that was in Talon was in Dick Grayson, because he was going to be trained to be the next Talon.
Apparently, the circus trains assassins.
Yeah.
That's a
It
plot.
makes sense. Circuses are creepy.
That makes
read the run
sense.
right
We're not
now.
scanning your building.
Just get out of the video.
That makes no. Okay, I'm good. All right.
Yeah, don't worry. In the description and title, I'll be sure to put spoiler alert. There will be spoilers. From now on, we should just be free to talk about whatever the heck we want. If you watch this video,
goddamn right.
better know.
8 years later.
I was going to say, this book is over almost a decade old.
Yeah, right. At this point, if you haven't read it,
Read it.
you should still read it, even with the spoilers. Just
You should reread it again after we talk about it.
If you hate death metal or metal or any of those, and you wonder why so many people are on that,
What metal?
or just death metal, or just
Yes.
metal, and you wonder why are so many people reading this title, read Batman, read Court of Owls, read Death in a Family, read all these trades, and then you'll see why we're like, come on, Snyder, we're pulling for you.
They've earned a lot of faith, and we've given them a very long leash, and sometimes it burns us.
Yeah.
But
Well, you know
Last
what?
Night on Earth.
Yeah. Oh, that actually kind of like
Robo.
That made no
Robin.
sense.
Yeah.
That made no
Oh,
sense.
Robin Joker.
Yeah. I think the other to go back to your last question, things that stuck with us. I really like getting a chance to see a young Bruce Wayne doing detective work. I feel like we don't often get a chance to see that sort of how fundamental the search for justice and search for answers was driving him at that age. You know, like we get a lot of the like, I'm a man now and I'm going to start kicking ass and doing things to make this world better. But just this like lost young boy who's just looking for something that's going to make this all make sense. And it actually kind of speaks to that, the way that a lot of people are clinging to conspiracy theories and stuff now. It's like, it's the thing that's going to make you feel better because there's something out there that's making all the machinery work, and it's not just some random fucko with a gun that senselessly killed my parents. It was clearly, it was a plot. It was something happened. And it's a nice tidy way for us to explain away why Bruce doesn't believe in this and hasn't had his finger on the pulse of this situation since day one, because he's already looked into it and he was like, nah, there's something there.
He's like, yeah, they don't exist.
Yeah.
And then they kick his ass.
It's the last time I believed 12-year-old me.
Yeah. And I mean we've harped on it a lot, but issue 5 is by far, and Nick, I know that's your favorite issue, just the artwork and that, even without the digital thing, that's kind of like, I think that was the kicker, or like if you didn't believe in it.
That's what you got. That's what sold you into the series,
Right?
Was because you're like, okay, wow, like this is gonna be a ride.
I was like, shit got real.
Yeah, and I also think
kind of refined his art.
Oh, look, we're all so excited. We're all talking about it. But
hard on Zoom when everyone has cocktails in them.
Yeah, it's true. But I was gonna say that was also, I think, the issue. I think where you can tell Snyder kind of believed in Kapulu to tell the story, because that was like, that story was told basically on the artwork.
Oh yeah.
If you look, his art style got a little sharper. Like if you look at the first 2 issues, Bruce Wayne's really cartoony, like almost Batman animated. It's like a cross between Spawn and Batman the animated series. And if you look later on in the run, the art changes a little bit.
And I think I think sometimes artists need to get their footing, like feel what the world is, feel what the story you're telling.
He was out of the game for a while, wasn't he?
And then they can adjust. He had left. If Kapulu, I believe, had left Spawn just to work on like some of his own projects, and he also did a bunch of album covers, stuff like that. So he was kind of shifting into mainstream and also trying to just be his own person. And then he ended up back at DC on a major run Batman. I don't know how many artists would turn down Batman. So major companies like publishers like, here's the keys to the kingdom, and you're like, no. So he definitely came back. He came back mainstream, and he came back hard. Like, and it may have taken him a few issues to get his footing, but he's almost he is a perfectionist, like, or he has that urge to work to make himself, or to appease himself, or to make himself appear. I don't know what I'm saying. He just wanted to be good and great at what he did.
Yeah, good game.
Yeah, I poured a little bit too much. It's like literally like pink rum.
No, but
I'm kind of.
You can tell Capullo's work on a series like Spawn that is, it's very vulgar. It's very out there. Mm-hmm. It translated well into the dark Gotham that Snyder was trying to paint with his words. Yeah. And then, Capullo just followed it up with his artwork, and you get that gist of like, holy shit, like this place is fucked up.
True. All right. So let's keep the ball rolling. Does anybody need a refill before we keep the ball rolling? All right. Let's take a break for refills, because don't worry, I can edit this. We can totally cut this out. So thank you once again for joining us on another Cocktails and Comics. We did Scott Snyder and Craig Kapulu's The Court of Owls. We drank tasty beverages. We had a good time. We thank them for bringing us back into comics. Mentioned a lot of cool stuff. We're about to go watch the game and finish our beverages. So thank you once again for joining us. See you next time. Peace. Say bye, everybody.
Adios.
Deuces.